Alola Pokemon trainers, this is GatorX and today we're going to be talking about distributions. But before we begin, I just want to remind you to check out my last video as well as my other channels which are linked in the description below. With that taken care of, let's begin. Now, distributions are an interesting thing. On one hand, there are so many Pokemon that are locked behind this distribution only window, making them unattainable through regular gameplay and meaning you have to actually go outside to get it. But at the same time, they also allow for some unique Pokemon to be obtained, in terms of special shiny distributions. In the past, distributions have been pretty big events and very exciting, but recently, that hasn't been the case. The last two Pokemon distributions have been a Lycanroc, Midnight form, and now a Salazzle. Nothing really special about them, just, specific items, they're quote-unquote battle ready, but they're not EV'd or IV'd properly, or at least to the max. On top of that, they're not nature locked, so if you want to get a decent nature for these Pokemon, you're going to have to reset a few times. And so some of the backlash for this was pretty big, particularly the Lycanroc, since it was an extreme disappointment following previous distributions. Last year, Pokemon was on top of distributions, giving out a mythical legendary every month, all in celebration for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. Monthly distributions had never really been something for Pokemon, but they really got people excited. And on top of that, it was all great publicity in order to keep playing the game while Sun and Moon was being worked on and finalized. Overall, the hype for the 20th anniversary last year was really high. With Pokemon Go, monthly distributions, great new products, and a brand new game on the horizon, Pokemon had everybody really excited for almost the entire year. And now that brings us to 2017. The Pokemon Company still wants to keep all of us fans playing the game and excited, but it seems like they're having trouble doing that. With distributions particularly, there's really not much more they can give out. They've already given out mythical Pokemon last year and Magearna, so there's not much more that they could give out for Sun and Moon. But at the same time, they still want to keep people interested in Pokemon and potential distributions in the future. So this is what they've come up with, giving out a Lycanroc, a Salazzle, and potentially another uninteresting Pokemon later in the future. There is also another reason why Pokemon may be doing this. Even though we may not like to think of it, the main demographic for Pokemon are kids. And with Pokemon Go being such an easily accessible and extremely popular game last year, many more kid fans were brought into Pokemon as they likely purchased Sun and Moon later that year. A kid fan would take a free Pokemon and item without hesitation, and be thankful for it. But teenage to adult fans need a lot more to be interested. What really would have made these Pokemon worthwhile for everybody is if they would have been properly EV'd and IV'd, nature locked, and even potentially shiny. No doubt that would have been a decent distribution, but for some reason the Pokemon Company just isn't seeing this. They're just making all these low-level entry things for kid fans. In a similar vein, Toys R Us has been having many events this year related to the Pokemon TCG. All of the promo cards are nothing special except for the fact that they say Toys R Us on them, but the mere fact that it's an event at Toys R Us that kids can very easily go to is enough to keep kid Pokemon fans excited. There is also the fact that recent Pokemon games have had less and less legendaries. You may consider this a good or a bad thing, but in the end it just means less distributions in the future. I had discussed this previously with Marshadow being revealed and that it could potentially be distributed in the future sometime soon, but the point is Marshadow is really the last thing that can be distributed. There is Lycanroc Dusk form which was recently announced and will be distribution only, but for the most part that's all we have on the horizon for Ultra Sun and Moon, Marshadow and Lycanroc Dusk. So really what I'm saying is, this is the reason why we're getting some lame Pokemon for distributions. I do think that these are somewhat understandable, but I'm still extremely disappointed that they're just very basic Pokemon, and we can expect more in the future. This is extremely long-term thinking, but hopefully when Generation 8 comes around, there will be more distributions, or at the very least there'll be more exciting ones. Anyway, that's all I've got for this brief discussion, but let me know what you think. Are you going to go out and get a Salazzle, or are you just going to stay home and not bother? Also, are you excited for Lycanroc Dusk being somewhat easily attainable through distribution, but at the same time shiny locked? Leave a comment down below and we'll continue the discussion. If you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking the bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out and will make you a member of the Chingling Squad. Anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a nice day.